to begin with, nobody will really have 100% knowledge of the product and process. Because nagbabago din yan, ang dami ding updates yan. So how can you work with what you know, and come out across as confident? Instead na iniisip mo, I told myself, you are getting me not because of those, but because of what I can contribute. Okay? So focus on what you have. 100 webinars. We just can't stop. Works Love Made Visible. Organizations across 9 countries and 4 continents. The blended learning, team engagement, and our podcast to be called Hello World. To talk about habits of excellence, hustling in this VUCA world, entrepreneurship, lessons in running and managing a business, leading people, creating that vision, communicating effectively, have that right attitude, right mindset, the right outlook, no matter what happens around us in life. Great work. Quiz. Team quiz. True or false sa team 1. The mechanics are simple. You will place your answers in the chat room. And because there are 4 teams, paunahan po ito. Ang una pong makapaglagay ng answer dyan at tama, we will give you 1 point. But for us, help us as well to see who will have the right answer. The first thing that you will type in is your team number and then place a colon. For example, team number 1, team 1 colon, and then your answer. Okay? Simple lang. True or false lang. True or false. It should be the complete word true, T-R-U-E, not a shortcut, or the complete word false, F-A-L-S-E. Complete words lang tayo. And if the answer is true and correct, you will get the first point. I will base it on my timestamp in my Zoom group chat. Posibleng iba ang timestamp sa inyo because of your internet connection. I will base it on my end here. If the answer is false, the team which gave that answer will get 1 point. However, there's another chance to earn an extra point, and it's open to all 4 teams. And that question is, you will have to explain why. But you will have to wait for my go signal. Please wait for my go signal. Okay, let's go to the first team quiz question on my count. On my count. Okay. Ready, get set, go. Ready. Okay, the first answer with timestamp of 9:14 came from team number 4, and the answer is true. But the second answer comes from team 4 as well. Okay? Team 4 as well. However, because the first answer from team 4 is true, we will have to consider another team. And Eliza, you can share the correct answer here. Please share the correct answer. And the correct answer is false. And the first point now goes to team number 3. Team number 3, a virtual applause to team number 3. And get ready for my next go signal. I will say ready, get set, go. Wala pa. And you may now post the answers why it is false. Wait for my go signal. Syempre po, we will not consider the same team giving true and false. Baka mamaya, strategy lang yon, right? Strategy. So, why is it false? Ready, get set, go! Naka-ready na yung pag-type ko na. I-enter na lang ha. Okay, the first thing that I have here is from team number 2. All skills. All skills. We need something specific. High touch. But since we have an answer already from team number 2, I will go to the next one. Team number 4, Eduardo said high touch 2. High touch, high tech plus high touch. Team number 4 gets 1 point here. Congratulations to team number 4. So in item number 1, ang meron na pong points ay walang iba kung hindi. Do we have a scoreboard there, Elaine? Perfect. So team number 3 and team number 4 both have points. Okay? Ready? Let's go to item number 2. Let's show item number 2. Okay. Get set. Sige. Okay. Number 4. Team number 4 ang una. AG Fabre says true. Team number 2 says true. Team number 1 says true. Puro true po ang sagot nila. Wala yata ako nakikitang team number 3. Okay, it took a while for team number 3. Everybody's saying true. And the correct answer, let's show it, is true. And therefore, team number 4 will get the first point. Okay, sige. Okay, may lag yung slides natin. O sige, ganito na lang. Once again, just like how I'm doing it, I will just say, show the next slide. And once that slide is shown, you may start typing in your answers. Just in case it's false, you will have to wait for my go signal. Okay. 2 points for team number 4. Team number 1 at team number 2, parang bidang Pilipino sa una, nagpapatalo sa huli, ay babawi. Let's move on to our item number 3. Go. Item number 3. Item number 3. What is item number 3? Team 2 is the first to answer based on my chat room, and the answer is true. Kung mali, it's team number 4 who said it's false. Eliza, can we show this answer to item number 3? It's false. So it's team 4 once again. Synchronous communication, when you and the other party do not need to be in the same venue platform at the same time. Wait for my signal. Wait for my signal. Looking at the chat room. Yes. Ready, get set, go! Okay. Naka-ready na yon. Okay. Remember po yung format ng ating answer. Dapat team number and then the answer. AM Valerio has asynchronous communication, and coming from team number 3, humahabol po si team number 3. And now we have 3 points for team number 4 and 2 points for team number 3. Okay? Just one reminder to our teams, kasali po si team 1 and team 2, ha? Kasali kayo dito. Yes? Ano ba yan? Mabibilis ba ang internet ng team number 3 at saka team number 4? Let's proceed to item number 4. Bilis naman nun. Okay. Okay. And the first answer now comes from team number 2. The chance for team number 2 to earn the first point. Chance of team number 2 to earn the first point if the answer is really true. And then may nag-false, kaya lang ay wrong spelling. Ang unang false coming from team number 1, correct spelling. Let's show the correct answer. The correct answer is false, and this is now coming from team number 1. Finally, team 1 gets into our scoreboard with 1 point. Okay? Wala mo nang sasagot, wala pa po akong go signal, wala pa po. So, yan na ang ating score so far. Ready? Why is it false? Ready, get set, go! Okay. Bilis nun ah. Okay. Okay. The first one who answered, coming from team number 3, mentioned that the keyword should be prevention. Tama rin naman si group number 1. Okay, prevention, action prevention. The correct answer is yes, follow through should be prevention. So team number 3 now gets 3 points. Let's move on to our next question. Next item, go. Mm. 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 Okay. Team number 2, wow, team number 2 lang nauna. Kung tama ang sagot na true, they will have their first point. And then followed by 4 and 2. And team number 1 is the first team that said false. Let's show the correct answer. Correct answer is true. CTA stands for call to action. Therefore, team number 2 now joins the teams with points. Thank you. Moving on to the next question. Next question, go. Okay. Okay, team number 4 is the first team which answered, and the answer is false. Team number 1 also saying false. Puro false po ang sagot nila. From team 4, team 1, team 2 to team 3, puro false talaga. So, ang unang team na lang kung tama ang false. Let's show the correct answer. Congratulations to team number 4. Ayaw patalo ng team number 4, protecting their lead now at 4 points. Let's move on to the next question. Next question. Ready, go! Okay. I made a mistake here. I was so excited because the answer to the previous item is false. Then I jump to the next item. I apologize for that, but this is how I will deal with this. What I will do is for those people who were able to answer related to the previous item, I will consider your answers. If you gave me the correct answer, will give you a point. I will also acknowledge those who already answered this previous item. Yes, it's my mistake and I'll deal with it. And earlier it was stop whatever you're doing. Army from team number 2 said stop unnecessary activity. Velvet Santos from team number 1 said stop the negativity and frustration. I will go for that. So Eliza and Elaine, please add 1 point for team number 1 because that's effort on your end. Okay? But for this current item, item number 7, ang unang-unang pong sumagot ay si team number 4. Dalawa sila actually from team number 4, or tatlo pa sila, 1, 2, 3, 4, consistent with the answer false. Okay? So I believe team number 1 now has 2 points. Team number 4 has a chance to solidify and push their lead further if their answer is false. Let's show it here. Is the answer false? Show it, show it. The answer is false. So team number 4 now has the most points available. Okay? However, wala pa po akong go signal for this item to explain why it is false. So some people already placed answers here. So excited, I understand that. And maybe the lag, internet lag, also has something to do with it. So we'll not consider this one because I have not given the go signal yet. Okay? Thank you. We will now move on to the next item. Get ready for the next item. Show it. True or false? True or false? True or false? True or false? Mabilis talaga. Si AG Fabre, team number 4, the answer is true. Followed by team number 2, PL Pagdato, answer is true. And Eduardo Albaran, number 4, answer is true. Let's show it. Show it, Eliza. If the answer is true, team number 4 gets another point. Perfect. Okay, so no need to explain. I believe everybody's saying true. Well, except for a few. Team number 4 is now lording it with 6 points. Team number 2, hahabol pa si team number 2. We still have 2 items. Let's show the next item. Team, ready? Okay. Okay. Bilis talaga nito ito ni AG Fabre. Parang naka-ready na yung mga sagot. As you start any meeting, it is best to set expectations on 3 things. Okay, hindi lang po bilis ang pinaglalabanan, correctness din. It is best to set expectations on 3 things. False, kung tama ang false, team number 4 yan. Kung tama ang true, that's team number 2. Eliza, please show the correct answer. The correct answer is true. And this is now a point for team number 2. See, effective yung cheering natin, effective yung moral boosting natin, humahabol po ang team number 2. Okay. Okay. Now, Eliza, wag muna. Okay? This is the last item, and this is a clear, really solid win for Team 4 if you get this point. Pwede pang humabol si Team number 2 for second place. So who will it be? Team 1 or Team 2 for second place? Show the 10th item now. Go! Okay, wow, Team number 1. Nag-uunahan ang Team number 1 at ang Team number 2 with Team number 4 in between. Ferdy is the first person who answered on my Zoom group chat, and it's number 1 true. Kung tama po, ay 1 point for Team number 1. They will be tied at second place. Eliza, let's show it. Let us show it. Thank you so much. The answer is true, and therefore, congratulations to our winners. Team number 4 is the clear winner, followed by Team 1 and Team 3 tied at 3 points each. Team 2 not bad, humabol at naka 2 points din po. Okay? Thank you. Congratulations, Team 4. Okay, let's give a virtual applause to Team number 4. Mga mabibilis ang internet. Yes? Eh? Prize, please. Don't worry, we will find the best virtual prize for you as well. Meron naman sagot ka agad dito si Jojo Q. Hindi kami morning person. So Jojo, nagwa-warm up pa yata lahat, no? Uy, galing daw ni Maylin. Yan, clap. Ay, ang bilis talaga ng internet ng team number 4. Or maybe you can strategize after our session. How would you type in your responses the fastest? Once again, Louis Banta and the LJMB team demonstrating different ways to make virtual learning sessions fun and engaging. Pwede pala ang team quiz nakapag-review na tayo ng mga readings at lectures in a fun way pa natin ginawa. Okay? We also ask you in your first exercise, okay, diyan kayo magaling. Okay? I can see the activity in the Zoom group chat. I like it that you're so active in the Zoom group chat. Yes? You know, I can also imagine how it will be if we did in-person. Siguro kung in-person to, kung on-site tayo, face-to-face, riot na riot itong ating training na to. Okay? Seriously speaking, one of the first questions that we ask is how your group was able to transition to remote and virtual selling. And in the next slide, out of a scale of 1 to 10, the average score of 24 participants who answered is you're able to take steps to become a remote virtual selling team at a score of 8.4 out of 10. Yan ang sagot natin. If our usual passing score is 7, remember our standards in school, 70, pasang-awa, 71, 8.4, people have high assessments of what PLDT Global has already done as far as helping you transition to this new normal. But it's not perfect yet. Our focus is how do we bring this 8.4 to 8.8 to 9.2 and even to 9.5. Because as we speak, as we try to do this intervention for you, I'm sure that the other companies or other competitors may also be preparing themselves and upscaling themselves. Okay? Let's now proceed to our first video. You watched our video. Ano pong masasabi nyo sa ating mga videos bukod sa baka yung iba hindi sanay, we would acknowledge that you're not used to really watching these videos as part of blended learning. So you might say mahaba. Yes? but we'd like to really give you lots of content through the video. Can you just type in your description? What's your experience so far in watching the videos? Please type in your description. What's your experience so far of watching our videos? Any feedback from you about yours truly? Okay. That's the new skill that I now have to master. Mas madali pong mag-deliver ng in-person, spontaneous. You just have to flow. Even if you make a mistake, you can't take it back anymore. So I have to continue. But as far as the video is concerned, grabe po, nakakailang take kami dyan. Yes, pag may mga pronunciation errors, cut! Because of course, it's for your viewing pleasure. Thank you for the positive descriptions here. We don't need to hear from anyone. Clear delivery. It's really important na maganda pa ang background, kulay green. That is actually our stage in my office in Makati. I had a mini stage built there, so when I give town hall meetings or give important announcements, ang feeling ko naman I'm mala Steve Jobs, I'm addressing people with that big TV. Yes, right? You're correct. The 30 minutes seemed long. Below 10 minutes is ideal for short courses. What we could have done is to really divide the 30-minute video, and you're referring to the pre-meeting. Yes, the pre-meeting is one that we really gave a lot of tips. What we can do there is to chunk it into 3 small parts. Okay? You're seeing the 3 stages to success in virtual presentations and meetings. This is a short video, about 4 to 5 minutes. And I'd like us to process any thoughts or any reactions that you have here. This is how it goes. You watch the video of this. If you have questions for me related to this one, we would like to raise it now. Otherwise, let me call on 2 people who will, in their own words, in less than 1 minute or even 30 seconds, what is your take with this slide, pre-meeting, meeting proper, and post?
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maylene. You touched on the highlights of the 3 stages in the upskilling for meeting and facilitating and presenting. And I have heard both you and Maylene mention the keywords there. Although there are also lots of keywords for pre-meeting, it's not just preparing. In preparing, you also ask what may go wrong. That's anticipating. And the last topic that we'll cover tomorrow are the what ifs. What if these distractions, interruptions, and challenging participants happen? That question, while we're discussing that as the last topic, should be part of your pre-meeting questions. You will anticipate and try to prevent that from happening. Thank you. Thank you for your first phrase. This is a powerful way. And I will go beyond what you said to you, your customers. It's a powerful way because on one slide, you can see everything that you need to take care of to ensure successful client meetings. And we wanted to give you an end-to-end checklist. If you don't want to go through the specifics of that checklist, you may just look at that slide with 3 keywords under pre, with 4 keywords under meeting proper, and 3 keywords under post meeting. Okay? If I have 2 major suggestions that I can give right now off the bat, one is yung pag-engage sa rapport building lang, but please make sure that you continue to engage the client all throughout. Please watch out for your facial expressions. You really need to show you are excited. Okay? Kasi yung iba parang napakaseryoso ng kanilang handling ng client. Parang mas excited pa po si client based on what I saw in the video. And the third one would be the control of the conversation. You need to be able to maintain the control of the conversation. And what is my indicator that the business development person or the account manager is the one taking control of the conversation? Hindi po Q&A ang kinalalabasan ng meeting. Hindi client asking a question and then you will give an answer and then you zip your mouth, you wait for the next question. Client asks another question and then you give an answer. That is not being in control of the conversation. Yung iba pong mga presentations, nagiging Q&A talaga. Okay? You have to take control. You have to facilitate it. Yes, of course, the client will ask questions, no? But just please don't give an answer and then wait for the next question. Am I making sense with my first round of tips that I'm sharing here? Are we making sense? Are we making sense? Yes, perfect. And it's okay if you feel parang ako yata yon. Tama? Parang yung kapartner ko yata yon. It's okay. Learning starts when we accept that we have opportunities for development. Okay? May best actor ba? Bukas i-announce po natin yung best actor. Align kayo ni A.M. Valerio. Love, may best actor. We can announce that tomorrow. Actually, meron ako napipisil na best actor at saka best actress. Oh, di ba? You read my mind there. Kaya lang, in some role plays, parang yung client pa ang best actor at saka best actress. Dapat ang ramdamang presence, yung talagang PGC representative. All right. Okay. So let's move 2 slides away and try to look at the 3 personal strengths and advantages based on your survey or exercise. Okay? 22 out of 30 said that engaging naman ang kanilang presentation skills. And here are the verbatim responses. Thanks to my team, Elaine and Eliza, for consolidating this. Confident at clear ang boses. There's this ability to listen and empathize. And delivering presentations slowly and clearly, especially given the possible internet lags. Magagaling naman, engaging naman pala kayong mag-present. Of course, this is self-assessment. The next one would be preparation. You know the business, you know your customer. Sobrang napahawak po ako sa aking hanky last night. Tama? Sa mga jargon, di ba? Na narinig ko. No? So, vortex, tama? Yung mga A to P, yan ang mga napakinggan ko kahapon. Yung mga MTR, jargons that you are using across different teams. You also see yourselves good in building rapport and familiarity with tech. So I will no longer go through this, but just to show you that your group is saying, here are the 4 strong points. And if we're strong on this, ano naman po ang anticipated challenges? Let's show the anticipated challenges in the next slide. 24 people said, dami nito this is 80% of the class, that it's connecting with the client. It's hard to gauge the reaction across the screen. Although, pag pinapanood ko naman yung video, kitang-kita ko yung reaction ni client. At binabantayan ko din yung reaction ng PGC representative. How are you going to react to that? There are several role plays. Feeling ko talaga, there are several role plays. Mas excited talaga yung client. Because of course, it's also business or negosyo on their part. But how do you mirror that? Okay? So what do we see here? Dealing with language and cultural differences. And in my video, I touched on that. And you mentioned fragmented attention given by the client. Or siguro, role play yung ginawa natin. Kaya give na give yung mga nag-play ng role ng client. But in reality, some may be interested, some may also be detached, especially if they're really not the right person that you are meeting. You mentioned you are engaging in your presentation. but there are certain improvement areas here, the limited hand gestures, which is why if you notice, what I'm doing is I maintain a safe distance from my webcam or monitor. Okay? I make sure that I have enough distance. So if I needed to make a point without gestures, I can just go closer and do eye contact with the camera. And if I needed to use my gestures, I can just quickly sit back and raise my hand, especially if you're motioning something or a process or steps in the process. Hindi niyo po magagawa yan kung masyadong malapit ang mukha ninyo sa camera, which is what I actually saw in a lot of the role plays. Para nang naka one by one po ang inyong video. Okay? It's hard to set the pacing of the presentation, and in a while, I will wait for some people to ask questions here. There are also distractions at home, shared space of others. Yes, your kid is attending online classes there, and you're doing a meeting here, or perhaps your spouse is in another corner. And I would understand that if you live in a small condo, for example, studio type condo, this is really a reality. If not, kung meron namang mga options, madali naman pong solusyonan to, no? Setting expectations lang na ito ang teritoryo ko, then this is my work from home office. 3 people here, my kid, of course, my wife is in another room. I'm broadcasting from my bedroom, and my kid has online classes downstairs in the dining table. Your home is not a safe haven anymore because of online meetings. Kaya nga po maganda na designated ang ating workstations so that there's that sense of normalcy. Meaning, if it's work, I go here. If I don't want to work, if I have to put a demarcation, you just have to get up and go out of that workstation. Okay? So acknowledging what people are. That video to the client for our asynchronous communication tool. Okay? Perfect. Oh, great minds think alike, Eduardo, di ba? Asynchronous, no? So, yung smartphone ninyo, magiging best friend nyo po talaga yan. Because kayo na ang magiging bagong YouTube sensation. Para kayong YouTuber. Yes? Para kayo nag-unbox. Okay? So, imagine that will be an additional role that you have for the virtual presentation meeting. Okay? Alas 10 na po, plus 5, 10:01 na, plus 5 minutes. I will start talking at 10:05, 10:06. Enjoy your first break. Bring everything that you need. You've tested everything. Yes. You are ready to go, and all of a sudden, you just operate the equipment. It doesn't come out correctly, and then you freeze and wonder why is it happening? When in fact, instead of asking why, you just need to decide what. Okay. And yes, you said it's really about preparation to increase confidence. Competence should increase your confidence, the 2 C's. Because if you do not know, you will not be confident. However, and I'm now starting to resume, I believe most of us are here. Who's with me? Who's back on their seats? Please type in me if you are there, and not just a name, not just a name and a thumbnail. Okay, we have, okay. I have half of the group with me, so let me continue. I was just saying, you want to increase your confidence, then you really need to strengthen your competence. Knowing what to say, knowing what to do. And now you're looking at the slides that we featured in the longest video, which we could have chopped into 3. It was my decision to put it all together kasi baka malito kayo, no? Of course, you can decide to pause and play. But we really wanted to show the end-to-end. Hindi pa nga po ito yung end-to-end kasi may 7, 8, 9 pa. Okay? If you are prepared, that increases your competence, and that should lead to confidence. However, I have met a lot of people in my life, in the course of my delivery of workshops, highly competent people. Ano-anong titles yung nasa dulo ng name, years of experience, When they explain it one-on-one, they're highly competent. However, my dear friends, competence sometimes doesn't translate to confidence. Because sometimes sobrang competent mo, sobrang jargonic mo namang mag-present, and you don't engage, you don't connect with the client. Yes? And would you believe that some of our clients are really not technical? Not everybody that you talk to are technical. Hindi sila makasabay sa jargon. The tendency at times of too competent people is that they just blurt out the jargon as if they are just saying layman's language. Yes? So please watch out for that tendency kasi pag competent ka, you assume that the other person knows it too. Doesn't follow. Okay? Thank you sa mga ito yung interaction natin. Ito yung nawawala. Sabi nga namin ni Love kanina, no? Nakakamiss yung face-to-face training na nakikita mo yung mga nodding. Ngayon, walang nodding. Not unless I ask you to turn your video. In your client meetings, you can see the nodding. But please, thank you. Okay? Ito, yung correct, relatable, and agree sa mga tagabigay ko ng feedback dito. For D, huwag ka nang magpangalan. Huwag ka nang magpangalan. Tama? Yes. So going back, competence should be the source of your confidence, but sometimes competence doesn't translate to confidence. Okay? At ito pa ang isang bomb. Some people are confident even if they do not have a high level of competence. Relate ba kayo sa sinasabi ko? Some people have high level of confidence even if they do not have 100% competence. Relate ba? Relate much? Hashtag relate much. Yes? May mga nakaka-relate dito. Aba, mas gusto ko na yung mataas ang confidence. Yes? Kahit na hindi 100%. Because to begin with, my dear friend, excite ako kaya lumalapit ako sa camera. To begin with, nobody will really have 100% knowledge of the product and process. Especially pag technical yung produkto. Nobody will really have 100%. Maybe the closest that you can get is 97, 98 because nagbabago din yan. Ang dami ding updates yan. So how can you work with what you know, and come out across as confident? Instead na iniisip mong, naku, hindi ko alam to, hindi ko memorize to, hindi ko master to, and it affects your self-talk. What I do is I tell myself, for example, in this session, I was listening to the videos last night, part of my preparation. I know that if I did not listen to the videos last night, I cannot relate your terminology, so I was listening. And I told myself, I don't need to be good with the technical side. Even ang dami-dami yung mga mini-mention, may mga NDA, yung mga SPOC, no? Ano pa, binabasa ko ngayon yung aking mga notes dito. The interconnection, you were mentioning traffic, at traffic na alam ko, yung traffic sa EDSA, what routes do you have, destinations, etc. You have Vortex as the billing cloud solution, ang dami-dami. And told myself, you are getting me not because of those, but because of what I can contribute. Okay? So focus on what you have. So I said something about confidence there. Competence should take care of it. But it's also at the same time, power posing. Pupunta tayo sa power posing mamaya and giving some more tips na wala sa manual at wala sa slides. Intentionally, I would leave some tips out of the manual and the video because some people think they watch the video and they read the manuals, they can skip the class. And the class is where additional tips will be given. Okay? Which of the following, if you look at the slides, the thumbnails in these slides, these were the slides that I talked about in the video. Step 1, study the account. Step 2, objective. Step 3, your talking points or flow. Step 4, visuals. Step 5, your practice. And step 6, prepare the client as well. I believe we have a poll question in the next one. Let's answer this poll question. The Mentimeter poll question. Let's now proceed to the next question. Which step represents your top 3 new discovery or learning in the video? Which one is your top 3 new discoveries or learnings in the video? Is it study the account? Is it identify meeting objectives? Is it meeting flow and talking points? Is it visuals or presenting through video and audio? Or is it preparing the client? Okay. Menti.com, code 418459. Now I have a couple of people here. Ito naman yung wala sa face-to-face training, yung mga poll questions na yan, di ba? So at least we're able to really see the pulse of the group. Please get ready to expand on your choice. While we wait for more, may mga tatawagin po tayo. Please justify or explain your points here. And as we wait for everybody to answer this question, just want to go back to what Jeko shared earlier. Sabi ni Jeko kanina, ginagawa na pala natin to, hindi lang natin alam na ganito ang tawag. See? So if you're now able to put a label or a term on what you're doing, yes, it increases your credibility and it also boosts your confidence. 9 people in the room have voted. We have 30. Well, let's give it some more. Okay. Yung visuals, wala pang pumipili. It's okay. Top response so far is practice presenting through video and audio. And what I like about your video role plays, and I know it is not very natural, it will not mimic the actual client presentation because you can either be kind to each other. If you're playing the role of the client or partner, you're kinder to that person or you become more challenging. Yes, it goes either way. However, just the experience of being there and talking to your boss, to Jeko's point earlier, alam niya ang sasabihin mo, which is good because you have to practice with people who can really give you lots of these challenges and you can anticipate and prepare for them. Now, half of the class have spoken. Your top 3 discoveries, learnings, the top of the top 3 that you mentioned is practice presenting through video and audio. The second one is preparing the client. Dinuwi mo ha, yung last piece na yun, do not take it for granted, no? And you also have, wow, still studying the account. Because I suppose KYC is already a terminology that will live in the breathe. And preparing flow and talking points. We now have 17 people who voted. And let's stay with this and ask people who voted why, what is the background. Please unmute and share your thoughts here. Why is that your top 3? Anong biggest aha mo so that the others may hear? Know that the others, I hope, and know that the others are listening. And you can type in your responses to what Pen just said here. Okay? You said that we do not record ourselves when we're presenting. I will bet that more than 50% of salespeople in the Philippines or in the world deliver sales presentations even pre-COVID, but have not seen themselves present. Yes? Ang basketball player nanonood ng tape. Kahit na wala ng tape ngayon, they still call it tape. Yeah? Because I play basketball. For those of you who play basketball on a more competitive level, after the game, you play the tape. Diba? Wala na ng tape, pero you still play that. You pause and play. Pause, look at the play. Resume what happens. How can you guard against that defense? Yes, because that's how you improve. Any performer, singer, celebrity, they watch their videos. Bakit yung mga salespeople present ng present and they don't know what to improve? Because they're not watching themselves in action. You have to hurdle that first fear, and fear unconsciously saying, oops, nakaka-conscious makita ang sarili ko sa video. Ganyan din po ako nung una. I just started early. If you don't know my background, 19 years old, I'm an instructor in De La Salle University right after my graduation. Hindi pa po ako gumraduate. They got me in as once the youngest faculty member of De La Salle University Psychology Department. And at that point, tama, nag-audio recording na ako ng aking mga lectures at pinapakinggan. Wala pa kasing video nun, mahal pa eh, no? Betamax pa nun, saka VHS in 1991, 1992. But now, have the luxury of your video recorder in your phone, please do use it. So, major point 10, it's really revealing. Pag pinanood mo yung video, sa una lang yung you cringe, di ba? How many of you can relate to that? Yung pinapanood mo yung sarili mo, nakaka-conscious. Yes. But that's where the polishing really happens. As simple as saan ang angulo mo, importante yun. Okay? And I like it that I got you with asynchronous communication. Because take a look at that. While I'm sleeping, you're watching my video. Yes? While I'm doing something, you are watching my video. And how many clients can watch that video? You can send that video, your product presentation, to 10, 20 different clients. It saves you time. So meron tayong basketball fanatic dito. Si Lester said, tail of the tape, very important to watch your lost games. Very important to watch those presentations na natalo ka. Ang maganda nito, guys, sa MS Teams or sa Zoom, you can video record all of your presentations. Please do ask for informed consent. Tell the client, for purposes of quality inspection, quality review, may I record this meeting? Tapos pag natalo ka doon sa hindi mo nakuha yung deal, panoorin mo yung recording. I'm serious about it, guys. Okay? Yeah. Mas important sa boxing, wag na kayong magtalo-talo. Boxing or basketball or presentations. Baka mamaya marami kang negative body language. Baka mamaya gumaganon-ganon ka sa presentation. Yes? O baka mamaya parang Q&A na tanong lang siya tapos nag-acknowledge ka lang, then the client has more control of the conversation. Tapos na-feel niya, but parang di siya excited sa business na ibibigay ko sa kanya. And you see that, you can see that in the video. Right? So much to say on that. So I really will push you, Pen, do that asynchronous presentation. Be ahead, guys. Wala pang masyadong gumagawa nito. And I tell you, I'm giving you the tips here, but it's up for you to execute. Agree. I also got here a private message, in a private message, what do we mean by preparing the client? And you focus on preparing the client. Hindi lang ikaw yung dapat mag-prepare. Di ba? And by preparing the client, tignan mo to, no? All of a sudden, I need to just drink water. I have everything that I need. I have my cup of coffee. I have my water. I have everything here. Just in case you can't hear me, I can use my AirPods, all within my reach. You're prepared? Prepare the client. Send me yung mga meeting invites sa mga low-tech clients natin na hindi pa masyadong marunong gumamit ng MS Teams or Zoom. You may need to give them specific instructions. Ilan po ang nakaka-relate? Do you imagine yourselves presenting to people who may not be familiar with video conferencing technology? Please type in relate. If some of the people that you'll speak to, you will need some coaching on how to use MS Teams or Zoom. Now I'm seeing relate. Prepare the client means you don't want to waste minutes out of your 30-minute meeting trying to teach them what to press. So, what are the frequently asked questions when you are using MS Teams? What are the barriers to logging in to MS Teams? Document that, put that in the email invite or meeting invite, and send a message to your client, Dear Mr. Santos, I also included some reminders in the use of MS Teams so that we can have a smooth discussion. That's what we meant by preparing the client. Di ba? Pag hindi pa nag-click yung nagwo-work yung links, Give them alternative choices. Give them your phone number. Also ask for their phone number. Maybe a landline, no? May also be useful as an alternative. And send all the files for review, and so that it doesn't become a Q&A. Kasi ganito merong nag-inquire, mag-arrange ka ng meeting. And then in the meeting, you will just ask what are your questions, the partner or the client shoots questions, and then you answer them. Why don't you send the meeting invite together with, if you can please give me 5 questions that you want me to answer in this meeting, what would they be? Let me repeat that. In the meeting invite or in the email, please give me 5 questions that you want us answered during this meeting. I gave a tip. What's your reaction? Sige nga. React. Okay ba sa inyo yun? Tanungin nyo na. Okay? What 5, or kung ayaw nyo ng 5, what 3 questions would you like us to answer in this meeting? So that when you open the meeting, Mr. Santos, you said that you want answers in these 3 questions, 1, 2, 3, prepared ka na. Hindi ka parang nagko-Q&A. Okay? So I don't get any reaction there in the chat room. Do you like it? You don't like it? Okay. Because we are so accustomed to. Let me just unmute. No, this is really bothering. What I can also do, if I need to drink water, I told you I needed a break, I will unmute. I just say I need a break, just a quick one. I will unmute. I will also stop my video so people cannot see you. Nakainom na po ako. I'm back here. Yes. Marami sa atin, pag naka-receive ng request for meeting, mag-a-arrange na tayo ng schedule. We will not even ask questions that the person wants to ask. Ano ba gusto niyang tanungin? Anong mga routes niya? Ano destinations? Ano mga gusto? Tanungin mo na rin. Meron kang 3 questions na tinanong. And also, I would like to find out the following. So people go to the meeting prepared in sharing the information. Okay? So please pick this up. Include it in the checklist that we have. Especially sa virtual presentation, dapat maikli na lang ang meeting. Wala na tayong pasensya sa mahabang virtual meetings. So, once again, sending this meeting invite in MS Teams, please click the link. Here are some more instructions. If we get logged out, this is my phone number, this is my landline. Please share 3 questions that you want answered during this meeting. And here are also 3 pieces of information that I would need from you. Kasi pagdating sa meeting, interaction talaga siya. Okay? Do you like it? How many of you like it? I will now proceed to the next person who will share. Nakadalawa na po tayo. Yes. May I have a third one? This time, I will not pick anyone from my list. I'd like this to be voluntary. Who would also want to touch on any of the following? While I'm waiting for somebody to speak, a third person before we move on, before I leave, preparing the client, sasabihin ng kliyente, out of the so many people who invited me to an MS Teams meeting, this is the person who made it easier for me, who made it convenient for me. Tapos mai-impress siya, wow, it was a quick but productive meeting kasi you asked questions and you also gave your questions. Who would like to say, to speak? You will have to do less preparation if you did step number 1, and which is knowing your customer. Ang ganda ng steps natin, tama? Kaya nga ganun yung sequence eh. Knowing your customer, using the words of Jojo, the end-to-end, all the works there. Yes. And at the same time, you said that some clients, matipid lang talaga, they really just want to discuss in the meeting. It's still good practice to solicit agenda items. Maybe half of your clients don't want to share. They want to talk during the meeting. But some who also value their time may also give you some bullet points because they know that by giving that, you can also prepare well for the meeting. Jojo, my question is, of the so many things there under KYC na nilagay ko, I placed organization, background of the business, competitive information, nationality and culture. Which aspect do you like most? Or which line there do you like most? How do you know the interest of the client, especially if you're meeting the person for the first time? Give us your tips, saan mo nire-research? Kaya pinalabas ko yun kasi alam ko that the others, no? For the others, you may really benefit from that. Social media, internet is really a big thing. Facebook pa lang, buksan mo pa lang yung profile pic niya, alam mo na, mahilig ba sa kotse to? Tama? Mahilig ba mag-travel to? Yes. Pamilyado ba to? Business-oriented ba tong taong to? You look at common friends, no? Tapos i-chat mo na lang. LinkedIn, I like LinkedIn. Yes. And I've been recently active in LinkedIn. Let me say this important statement. If you are servicing B2B, I believe I delivered this last Friday. If you are servicing B2B, which you are, you should be in LinkedIn by now to establish branding. Okay? Meron tayong question dito sa chat room. I'll go to that in a while. My question is, do you have LinkedIn accounts? The answer for most is yes. I will also bet you're using it for what? Sige, let me wait for answers in the chat room. Your LinkedIn accounts you use for what? Waiting for some responses in the chat room. Yeah. While the others are focused on learning, LinkedIn learning, the others are using it for prospecting or for lead generation, and the others, LinkedIn, pag maghanap ka ng trabaho, pumunta ka dyan sa LinkedIn. However, my dear friends, you have to change your perspective. Please listen to this. While you're not looking for a job, and even if you are not looking for leads, kasi nakaka-turn off po, nakaka-turn off yung magko-connect ka. And then after a few seconds and minutes, you will send a message offering your products. Please chat in here, agree. If you agree with me, nakaka-turn off yung magko-connect tapos magbebenta lang pala. I would like to watch out for people who are saying agree. Do you agree na nata-turn off kayo? So excited ka, in-accept mo yung connection niya, tapos meron na siyang napakahabang message nag-introduce na. Di ba? Or kahit, even if you wait for a few days, now you say, kaya pala ako kinonect nitong tao na to because he's just after a sale. Yes? So what you can do is maybe like and comment on the activities of the person. Please use LinkedIn the right way, my dear friends. Please use it, somebody said it earlier, to establish your personal brand. And your personal brand is you as a sales professional. Sales professional which is into tech infrastructure. So please take this to heart. Even if you connect with me in LinkedIn, please do that as an experiment. Basahin niyo po lahat ng mga posts ko. I am not selling. But my posts are really all about showing that I am an authority when it comes to this subject matter. Let me repeat that. I don't go and message people, hi, I'm Louis Banta, please get training. No. I post a photo of this session. Hi, running PLDT Global's delivering presentations in virtual environment. Let me give you 3 tips. Tip 1, tip 2, tip 3. Oh, pag nabasa nila yung tips na yun and they also want this for their companies, then I get an inquiry. Yes? Use LinkedIn for branding B2B. I can't overemphasize that, my dear friends. Okay? So do something, post something of value. Talk about your products. Talk about how excited you are to partner with a telco. You may disregard, you may not post all the details if may confidentiality dyan. Basta maglagay ka doon ng something that will add value to others. Show yourself, establish your credibility as a sales professional in this tech infrastructure business. Okay? So, dami nating natutunan kay Jojo kanina, no? On really doing your prospecting. That's hardcore sales terminology. Would you have questions for me here? Would you have questions for me on any of the following? Preparing your content and delivery. Kung wala namang ready questions, may question pala kanina, I'll go to that in a while. Let's now proceed to the next slide where we consolidated your questions coming from the survey or exercise. The question earlier is, Louis, on your personal experience, how do you engage to overcome customers that gave you the cold shoulder? Okay? Just don't take things personally. Because sometimes when you think, oh, cold shoulder, is it me? Is it because of me? That question is already enough to make you panic and lose confidence. It starts with the mindset. Natural lang to, normal lang to, this customer doesn't know me, may not know PLDT Global, may have heard of negative things about us, or may have what? May prefer other options. It's okay. Magwa-warm up din sa akin to. Focus on how to make the customer warm up. One is going back to what earlier, is there common ground? What is your common ground? By saying, and I did this in my meeting, just last week, I talked to a managing director who doesn't know me, who gave me a cold shoulder during the meeting. Naka-lean back nga siyang ganyan eh, no? Nakita ko sa MS Teams. Yes, I was talking to the HR VP and it was really very jolly because this person, I worked with her in the past 10 years in her previous companies. Tapos yung managing director nakaganyan lang. No? Tapos I said something. I said, I'll change the name. Hello, Mike. I heard you came from company Toot. I know several people there. In fact, I did a lot of engagement in that company in the past. And he said, oh, when was that? So from initially cold, because wala kayong common ground pen eh. But once you introduce that common ground, it's his previous company, and I said names that he knows. Ganyan talaga siya. He leaned forward and asked, oh, when was this? I know common ground pen. So you have to really do your KYC research common ground. And your common ground can be people that you know, or let's say topics that you would like both talk about. When you go to other countries, it may be talking about a relevant situation in that country, except for politics, which is something that we want to avoid discussing. Okay? Just to share, Echo Jeko saying, invest more time is KYC talaga eh. And improve your connections. That's why LinkedIn is Facebook 2011, which means it was Facebook 9 years ago. If you establish your branding and increase your connections, you'll be a byword later on. Mas madaling mag-connect na somehow, somewhere. Okay? So some questions here, making appealing presentations, the frequency is 17, how to come up with a concise yet visually appealing presentation. You would remember Kawasaki's rule. What is Kawasaki's rule? Many slides nga, yung 10 actually refers to the number of slides. That's talking about concise. To answer this question, concise means no more than 10 slides. Okay? At yung 10 slides mo na yun, kasama pa dun yung cover slide mo. And delivered in 20 minutes. Delivered in 20 minutes.
Yes.
And remember that if you have a full hour, 20 minutes is to present that deck. What will you do with the next 40? Ayun na yung mga interruptions. Diba meron tayong video on presenting with executives. Especially when you present to executives or decision makers, nasa first slide ka pa lang, wala na, thrown off ka na because meron na kaagad interruption or objection or question. Agree din naman ako sa iyo kasi sabi naman ni Kawasaki, no more than 10 slides. It doesn't mean have 10 slides. Sabi ni Kawasaki, not more than 10 slides, which means if you can get your point across in 3, in 5 or 7, so Lester, no need to say sorry, you are still within the Kawasaki rule. No more than 10 slides, no more than 20 minutes, which means tama ka. On point ka, you can deliver it in 10 minutes, that's still Kawasaki rule. And what about the font size, 30 points? If you try it, if you flash something, for example, the slide that we're flashing now, those questions are actually at font size, I believe that's font size 28. Okay? So actually, violation of Kawasaki rule. Kaya lang, we have lots of things to put in here, which should be not hard. O 29 yan, violation yan. Check with your audience and put yourself in the shoes of the audience. Will this be visible? Especially in Zoom, where when you flash it, it's not the entire screen. Kumpara sa laptop, di ba? Pag naka-PowerPoint, kapag flash mo, it consumes the entire laptop. Okay. There's small things, right? Small things. Tanong natin, paano mo sila ma-engage? And these things are subliminal. These things are unconscious, yes? Especially when they see you on video. Do they want to see you again? And of course, your competence and confidence is what carries you through. Ito yung mga additional things lang that can be irritants. High caliber. Pero meron kang bat, di ba? May pahabol ka, di ba? Okay. I'm careful with my reputation. Part of branding yan. So kahit nasabihin nila, ang galing-galing ni Louie Banta, pero parang hindi siya presentable, parang hindi siya yung speaker, I wouldn't like that as well. And that's why it takes effort. And thank you for mentioning that. Should we agree to a standard, and I don't know if you already have this, you have to present yourself in a business attire or business mood when you are hopping into video calls. Okay? So sa mga role plays natin, sa mga role plays kahapon na sinubmit, please panoorin din, how could I boost my perception of credibility and authority? Yes? Boost that level of, pag nakita ka, oh, this must be an expert. Take a look at that. A vice president will look at you and will even say, is this also a vice president from his own company? That's the kind of perception. And I'm not talking about simply ranks and position titles, but really earning respect of people just through the visuals. Kahit hindi mamahalin ng suot, ay mukhang decent at elegant. Sa totoo lang, Pen, kahit naman hindi naligo, okay, kahit na hindi naligo, strictly speaking, but paano mo nasabi hindi naligo? Good grooming. Hindi nag-effort mag-grooming. But of course, I'm a fan of shower in the morning because that shower, cold shower, will also boost your level of energy, di ba? As you hop into a video call. Di ba, pag hindi naka-shower, hindi nakahilamos, pupungas-pungas pa, and it affects your mood, it affects the way that you do your eye contact in the video. Okay, you may hook up with me, connect with me in LinkedIn, so you can see my daily posts. I post 3 times a day. I post tips. I give a lot of my tips. I do not sell. I give lots of my tips, and then decision makers, VPs, GMs see it, and then they message me, I would like the same for my company. Yes? Okay. Sige, I'll now start addressing the questions here. So for the early birds in after we resume from our break. Okay. Ito pala yung speaker na yon. Live webinar. Sometimes people think that because they're already famous, they can get away with it. Yes. Okay. So look at this. You're talking about somebody, a famous person who's really good, but you had comments. You still can spot area for improvements. Yes? So please think of, what if it was you? Would you like it? You could have done something about it. Yes? In as small as, magkakaroon ka lang ng comment, tama? Wag na sana sa maliliit na bagay that are within our control. Okay? Some of the questions here, ano ba rito? Okay. Not sure if this will be discussed from Boogie. Can you also share tips in preparing for internal presentations to colleagues and executives? Executive audience, we have a specific topic for that tomorrow. Remember that they are busy, they're business-oriented, they're impatient, they like to talk. So how are you going to adjust that? preparing for internal presentations to colleagues. If you're presenting to colleagues, direct answer to that, it is more relaxed, it's less pressure. The format or the flow that we will talk about in a while is still very applicable regardless of audiences. But more to say about that. Dress code for virtual meetings. Okay, Jekko is asking dress code for virtual meetings. If I am the boss of the sales team, if I am the leader of the sales team, I will mandate that people should be in business attire. And I don't mean slacks. Your lower garment may be irrelevant or is already irrelevant in virtual presentations. Not unless you would want to stand up and you have a whiteboard behind you and you are doing some writings on the board. Okay? Can I remove this? Do I need to put on a necktie? The rule is, please listen carefully to this new rule, be dressed at least one notch higher than your audience. One notch higher than your audience. Para pag nakita ka naman ng audience mo, meron ng power and authority na hindi kayo magka-level. You are an expert than this person who's going to you, regardless of the rank of the person that you are talking to. So, siya ba'y naka-necktie? Kung naka-necktie siya, dapat meron din. Plus add a suit. Yes? Kung siya'y naka-long sleeves lang at walang suit, don't need for a tie, just putting on a suit. Okay? And some factors could be the organizational culture. Is the client that you're talking to, siya ba'y galing sa isang conservative, traditional company na business suit, then you really have to be business-like. Or siya ba'y galing sa, for example, provincial telcos na relax lang, that when you come in the virtual meeting with the suit and you're talking to provincial telcos, they will be intimidated. Tapos nakakasira din ng rapport, yung masyadong formal. Kasi ano ba to? I don't want to talk to these people. Masyadong formal. Ayos ba? So, what did I just say? Be dressed one notch higher. So, kung ang kausap ko yung taga-manufacturing, tapos ang kausap kong plant manager, naka-short sleeves lang, hindi na ako magsusut. Tatanggalin ko tong suit ko, tapos naka-long sleeves lang ako. What if the audience is C-level? Okay? Love is asking, what if the audience is C-level? Love, my answer is it really depends on the audience. Okay? Love, from the company where you come from, addressing this to love, in the company where you come from, the CEO wears jeans and just long sleeve shirt and the sleeves are rolled. Yes, jeans and polo. I don't need to be very formal. But because my name is Louis Banta, and he is a popular CEO, I may need to put on a suit just for me to level the playing field. Sa totoo lang, kahit nakasando si Mark Zuckerberg, kahit na naka V-neck t-shirt lang si Mark Zuckerberg, pipilahan ng tao ang mga speeches niyan. Pero si Louis Banta, who is Louis Banta, it helps to put on something additional. All right? I'm getting a lot of reactions here. Gotcha and true and oh, yes. Did I miss any question? If I missed any question because people are now interacting with me more actively, idagdag nyo lang po dito. Saka yung jacket, Pen, iba talaga nagagawa nitong jacket or blazer. Ha? Lagay mo lang dun sa office chair mo sa bahay. Lagay mo lang doon. Kahit nga naka V-neck, kahit nga hindi ka mag long sleeves kahit naka V-neck shirt ka, ang ganda pala noon, guys. Kahit naka V-neck shirt ka, comfortable at home, basta may jacket ka, pag mag-video, lagay mo V-neck shirt, ang gandang tignan. Formal. Casual, pero business casual. Okay? Kung bodybuilder ang client, shirtless na lang tayo. Okay? So I'd like to keep my sessions wholesome. Just joking there. Color scheme to set the tone like red says power and authority. Blue naman solicits money, parang ganon. Okay? Wag sanang red, tapos white ang background. Tama? Because it's so attention-catching. And please do not wear red because red elicits feelings of aggression. Pag nakakakita ka ng red, gusto mong either, di ba? You want to attack, either you want to eat. That's why Jollibee and McDonald's would always have that red tone. And not too bright colors though, not orange. Let's go for the traditional, let's go for the more subtle colors like blue, navy blue, black, gray, white, or stripes. O, naging image consultant ako dito ha. Again, I'm giving my tips. If I am the head of the sales team, I would like to have a branding na pag PGC, regardless of whoever it is in PGC, we will be dressed a notch higher than our client. O kahit naman local telco kausap mo, kahit naman mag-suit ka ng konti dyan, tama? Tapos wag ka lang mag-necktie. Tapos siguro, checker lang yung polo mo para at least relate sa kanila. I've said so much here. Okay? Eliza, can we go one slide? How about polo with PGC logo? Meron kayong ganyan? Meron kayong product shirt as we call it? Yes? Okay. Okay yan if you want to really be relatable to your audience who may not be at C-level. Okay? Okay din yan if you already have a relationship with the client that you're talking to. At least it's formal. Eliza, before that, can we go one slide before that? I believe there are questions that I can also address here. Before I proceed, I'm addressing lots of questions. Are you finding value? Are you finding value in this Q&A? Maybe that's not your question. Maybe you're not interested with that question, but a lot of others are learning. It will come to a point that it's your turn to ask questions. Are you finding value, my dear friends, in our Q&A? Finding value? Okay. Ito pa rin. Sila pa rin yung mga same. May mga bagong pangalan ako nakikita dito. Okay, we're finding value here. I'm going to these questions being flashed by Eliza and Elaine. Environment questions. What's a better alternative if you don't have a space for a temporary office at home? If you don't have a space for temporary office, narito ako doon. What you perhaps meant is if you don't have a fixed space, office space at home, then if you don't have a fixed office space, then think of 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 spots at home where you can jump from one place to another that will still give you best lighting, noise-free or reduced noise. Alam nyo, pag lumabas na yung mga video conferencing tools na may noise cancelling features, hindi na natin magiging problema yung mga barking dogs. Kahit yung mga kids playing in the background as long as you're using your AirPods, hindi na natin magiging problema yung noise pag meron na yung noise cancelling. So kung ako sa'yo, wala kang spot just like me, pwede ba sa living room? Which part of the living room? And also you have to consider signal, or baka meron kang space sa labas, no? Where you are not that exposed, may cover, explore options. Is it okay to use a virtual background? It depends. It depends if you seamlessly blend with the virtual background. But sometimes when people move, di ba, ang pangit kasi nasisira yung yung silhouette mo or your contours, no? And sometimes the color of the virtual background, I've seen this several times, it overlaps with the face of the person. How do you minimize distractions and interruptions? We will please allow us to wait until the what if segment tomorrow. What's the best video camera earphones that you can recommend? Wow, actually it depends on your device. Okay? If my device is Apple, I would prefer to use Apple. I have Rode as my camera, Rode as my camera and microphones here, small, and marami namang mga mga brands dyan available for delivery, Lazada, Express. Will still look professional to use headphones with built-in microphone stick. And are you talking about this microphone stick? Yes. At saka headphones. Saan po natin nakikita yan? Nakikita natin yan kapag mga professional podcasters. Yes? Ayaw mo namang mag-send ng ganung vibe. Tama? na kapag nag-log in sila, they will log out because they got intimidated. Oh, am I live? Am I going? Ayaw mo ng ganyang vibe. Gusto mo ng rapport, and rapport is established with similarity. When they look at you, they're not threatened, they're not intimidated. Sa akin na nagwe-webinars, this is useful. And I'm launching my podcast very soon. I'll talk about business tips and tips in selling, customer service, leadership, no? So I would need to have that equipment. Okay lang, gets ng tao nagpa-podcast so meron akong microphone dito. Experience technical difficulties, we'll do that tomorrow. If you remember, as we start our session today, na wala na kaagad yung slides, yung control ni Elaine, what did I do? While I am answering your questions here, I'm also addressing a lot of technical challenges as we're going along. So let's process that tomorrow. Next slide is all about preparing ourselves. Was it Checo earlier who said, alas 6 na, sabi ng boss niya, mag-roleplay tayo. Oops, alas 6, magluluto pa ako niyan. So that will have an impact on the way you deliver. Mental, emotional, and confidence. I said SBRT, if you're coming from a tense meeting, if you are really distracted, stop the thoughts, not stop what you're doing. Maybe you need to stop what you're doing, but what's more important is that you stop the thoughts. If you are in a tense meeting, you cannot stop the meeting. Yes, you cannot just log out. So stop the negative thoughts. Oh my God, I'm losing control of the meeting. Breathing without distracting the person that you're talking to, reframing thoughts and taking action. And power posing. Get ready with your questions and clarification here. We will go to a poll question. Dalawa lang ang pagpipilian natin dito sa poll question na to. Which of the two represent your new discovery or learning in the video? Please do spend a few seconds to answer this question. Some are new to the SBRT. SBRT, stop. Louis, stop. Kanina, when we were starting, the first slide of Elaine doesn't want to move, and she sent me a Viber message. My slide is not moving. Imagine my first slide. Did it get to me? The answer is yes. Did it rattle me? A bit. It had an impact. But SBRT, stop. Sabi ko sa sarili ko, ang negative thought ko kanina, ano ba to? Simulang-simula, may tech issue na. Tapos nagturo pa ako ng Murphy's Law. Yes, but it's okay. Stop the negative thought. Breathing gives more oxygen to the thinking brain, and therefore you're able to think of options. And now we're saying that people are, most of the people are new to power posing. Okay? Let's proceed to the next slide, Ali. The next slide is bringing us back to those lessons. Let's process that a bit. Sa mga nagsabing SBRT, sa mga nagsabing power posing, may I hear from you? Which is what I did earlier. I just acknowledge. First, you have to acknowledge the tech issue. Kasi halata ng audience. So what did I say? Elaine is having difficulties controlling the slide. It's okay. While she's troubleshooting that, let's go to our next parts. And I ask people to greet each other. We did the HEP thing. Yes? See? So, buy time. Okay? Otherwise, you really have to acknowledge it and resolve the tech issue. That's for SBRT. What if I appear like this in the video? What if I appear, I'm panicking? You can really see it. It's magnified. Tama? Magnified talaga. Or if I'm masungit, if I'm an intimidating speaker, yes, o kung hindi ako naligo, di ba? Parang, of course, let me fix myself. Yes. Everything gets magnified here. Okay? Power posing is what you do before, not during. This is really mind-shifting for me, guys. Please take this to heart. And I've adopted this after learning about this in 2013, 7 years ago. Harvard psychologist Amy Cuddy, experiment niya, di ba? Experiment niya, high power pose saka low power pose. And high power poses pertain to body language done by those at higher positions of authority. Di ba? So, yung nakapamewang na ganyan. While we should not do that in front of the audience. Amy Cuddy's tip is do this minutes before you get into a possibly tense presentation, because magically something happens to our highlight about this. And wow, grabe ha. Grabe talaga itong study na to. Because it's saying that aside from boosting your competence, we can do something about our body, and it makes a lot of sense. Pag naka-power pose ka kasi feeling winner ka eh. Tama? And that's the message that you're partly telling your brain. And if you go low power poses, please do not do those low power poses just before you go to a presentation or to a meeting. Pero, wag pong mag-high power pose pag nasa virtual meeting na. No, 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 no. Can you imagine you're doing a high power pose when you are talking to your boss, nakaganyan ka? Tama? Nakaganyan ka. O boss, ano, kamusta na boss? Of course you can. But do that before the presentation. Okay? This is my tip on top of boosting your competence and your preparation. Nag-prepare ka nga, pero minutes before the meeting, naka-low power pose ka. You know the worst power pose, low power pose of all is holding your throat. When do people hold their throat? What's the message of this body language? The message of this body, I'm dead. Tama?
You're dead.
And people, tataas ko yung body language ko, nakaganyan ka, nakahalukip-kip, tapos ka nakaganyan ka, di ba? Avoid this body language. And something magical really happens with our brain here. And you cannot trick hormones and chemicals, ha? You cannot trick this. Because pag nasi-stress ka, tumataas ang cortisol at bumababa yung testosterone. And power posing does the opposite. Kaya pala sila Superman, Batman, at Wonder Woman, as Amy Cuddy showing there on the slide. Yes, kaya pala sila, pag gumanon sila, takot na kaagad yung mga kalaban kasi they're projecting power and authority. Paano kapag may posture problem? Yes? Okay? Paano kapag may posture problem? Okay. Hindi naman kailangan talagang i-mega, exaggerate, or OA. Avoid low power postures. Yes. And just, yes, kahit na hindi perfect kasi you cannot move perhaps your spine so much. But avoid low power poses. No? Okay? Deadmine ko na lang yung comment ni Ferdy dito sa Zoom group chat natin. Power posing has been part of my routine before I go to any presentation. I went to Europe to address 60 managers of one company, specifically in Germany. I went to the US 2 years ago, 70 local US managers who have not seen a Filipino speak. And now they have a Filipino speaker. Okay? LJMB Global din tayo. Huh? So, ma-imagine nyo, even a professional like me, I still have those butterflies in the stomach. Because you don't know, especially during that time, I know the subject matter. Yes? I know the subject matter, but I don't know how I will click with the audience. So, this is something that we can do. Konti lang ang testosterone ng mga girls, which is why they really have to add power posing. May power pose ka nga, hindi ka naman prepared, it still defeats the purpose. Yes? So preparation, increasing your competence, and doing that power pose technique. Okay? Of course, ladies don't want to really be perceived as masculine in a meeting. Yes? We don't want that. They have their own style of projecting power and authority. Are there questions for me? If there are questions for me on this one before I move to the next slide. Once again, power posing before, right before, not during the meeting. Okay, if you watch me closely, again, eye level po ang aking camera, hindi yung usually naka-laptop na ganyan. Tama? Eye level ang camera, and if you notice, I don't move a lot because I really want you to see somebody who's stable here. I look at the camera, I glance on my slide, I go back, look at the camera. So sa mga napanood ko sa role play, most of you are really just looking at the laptop screen or you're looking at your own video or you're looking at the other person's video. Yes? So okay lang glance, but go back to this camera. And even if you have questions that are not related to the current topic, meron kayong questions sa previous topics, just launch it here. We'll answer it at the right time. We'll proceed to our next few slides. The next slide is just having some lags here. Now engaging the client from start to end of our virtual presentation meeting. And here we are showing 8 steps from greetings to wrapping up. Again, you're already doing some of these, but how will you adjust and adapt it to the virtual environment? And we have 2 other blocks there, delivering the presentation. I have this proposed presentation flow, structure or talking points, which starts with presenting the product. Siyempre, magka-company intro ka. Yes. Explain FBA, and I explained FBA earlier. Inject relevant questions, recap, and close. You are all, I would say, you are all familiar with your products. A lot of you, if not all, are experts on your products. Ang hindi lang siguro 95% expertise yung mga bago sa mga product lines na hinahawakan nila. Okay? And you'll develop that over time. What's important is that after getting information from the client, you set that up as a situation or scenario, and then segue na natin sa, by the way, my proposal is about, But presenting is different from facilitating. Let me make this distinction clear. Presenting is you talking one way, you are the source of information, just like what I'm doing right now. But facilitating is drawing out questions and concerns from the audience, because if you want an engaging meeting, you have airtime, the client and partner should have airtime. And the more they talk and the more you can control it, the more engaging a meeting becomes. So delivering the presentation, tapos I gave you 2 tips on facilitating the discussion. Yung isa ay, okay, may I get your questions first? Minsan ganito ginagawa ko If I did a good job in the pre-meeting, I will send the proposal asynchronous, maybe a video. I will ask the client, what 5 questions do you have for me? So during the meeting, I just say, dear client, thank you for really sending your 5 questions. I will read the questions. Okay? And I will ask for others, and then I'll respond to them later. Or you get the question and you respond to them mala Q&A as you're going along. Ang ayoko lang pong makita ay kapag sinagot ang question, tahimik na. So you will observe that in the role plays. The client asks, for example, can you do something about this? For example, pricing. And the answer is just a plain and flat, yes, we can do something about it, period. And then silence, may dead air. Don't allow dead air in the discussion. The only 2 uses of dead air for me are if you give a punchline that the person needs to absorb, a powerful punchline, a lot, 2 to 3 seconds of dead air because the person would need to absorb it. And the other one is when you deliver your closing pitch, tas napakaganda, high impact ng closing mo, 2 to 3 seconds of dead air there. As we always say in closing, when you deliver your closing spiel, whoever talks next loses, di ba? Yan ang isang age-old sales principle natin. Okay? So, greetings to intro, agenda setting, recap, wrap up. We're showing the 8 here. Do we have a poll question? Do we have a poll question here, if I'm not mistaken? Meron ba tayong poll question, steps 1 to 8? Yes. What is your biggest takeaway in the meeting proper Is it in the greetings, as early as greetings? Is it in the introduction, especially if you are with other members of your team? Sometimes you do team selling, okay? And please involve your immediate superior in certain sales situations. So we're waiting for some responses here. Mhm. Okay, they're now moving sa greetings, di ba? Yung high impact greeting mo, your introduction where you can also put your rapport building, your agenda setting. It's important to say we will cover this. This is our objective. The meeting will last. Or I usually say, I'll just deliver a 5-minute company introduction and then spend another 5 minutes talking about LJMB programs, and I listen to your concerns and questions. So alam nila, 10 minutes lang yung presentation ni Louie Banta. I will wait until the end of the presentation. Or you may tell the audience, no, just shoot your questions as we go along. Just raise your questions as we go along. What a beautiful chart we have here with 14 people who voted. All answers were chosen, but agenda and setting expectations. Kasi usually talo na tayo, di ba? Yung iba naman, subtle lang yung pag-introduce ng agenda or setting expectations. Sometimes I say, especially if the meeting did not start on time because of tech issues, you can say something like, I know we only have 40 minutes out of an hour meeting. Para hindi siya nag-aalala, alam niya that you're time conscious. You can say something like, I know we only have 40 minutes left. Don't worry, we'll maximize that time. I'll cut my presentation to 15 minutes, so 25 more for interactions. Okay? What do we have here? Si Mike Katotokan Panayam Power Post. Congrats on your new baby. I like option 2 because I'm used to this as a matter of engagement. Yung they will just ask questions and you'll answer them. Some are saying that your AHA is saying congratulations and avoiding thank you. Nagte-thank you yung client sa'yo, magte-thank you ka din. So walang katapusang thank you-han, di ba? Thank you, no thank you. Okay lang naman yung isang thank you. But what if you say, congratulations, at least you're now talking to a possible partner or provider. Or you can say something like, congratulations, we're progressing in our meeting. I know that we've scheduled this several times. At least natuloy tayo ngayon. Congratulations. Because as I said, thank you is parang ikaw po ang nagmamakaawa. In one of the videos I listened to, I know that this person is joking when he said, Ma'am, salamat at accept mo naman yung proposal ko kasi para hindi ako matanggal sa trabaho. Alam kong pa-joke lang yun, and you can say that if you have a great relationship with a partner already. Yes? Okay? But as much as possible, make the person feel good. Kasi ikaw po yung thank you, thank you. Ayoko ng aloof. I saw some people who look aloof in the role play, and maybe because it's just unnatural, it's a role play. Maybe you did not take it that seriously. So please do not look aloof and sound aloof in real life. I saw some people naman who are so thankful. Okay na isang thank you for your time. Congratulations, we're progressing in our discussion. Diba? Hindi matatapos yung pababaan ng boss, sabi niya Pen dito. So far, it's agenda setting and recapping. Recap of previous information. Whatever you had during the meeting, you would recap it. Okay, thank you for sharing the following information. 1, 2, 3. And based on that, we're pleased to present to you PLDT Global is a wholly owned subsidiary, etc., etc. In year 2000. O, di ba? Yan yung mga na-memorize ko doon. And then, you deliver your product proposal. Of course, you may have sent your proposal before. You may even ask the client to pertain to this page. Nag-facilitate ka ng discussion. Here's one thing. In some of the videos, ang client o ang partner pa ang nagre-recap. In some of the videos, si client or partner pa ang let me recap. Dapat tayo yon. Because we really want to control the conversation. You're the host of the conversation. You're the host. So, no dead air. lagi kang may sinasabi. Pag sagot mo ng isang question, wag naman ang sabihin mo, is there anything else? You may say it in a sweet voice. That's why it's really important to get prior information. So you may use it to say, okay, we've answered your first question. Let's now go to the next one. Okay? And then wrap up. We still have time to hear two new voices in the room. Which of these takeaways, or you have your takeaways here, can I just hear two voices who will expand on this? Share the story. Bakit po ito ang napili nyo? Why did you choose greeting? Whether you chose greeting or delivering presentations or wrapping up or agenda setting. Okay, I think that's the last part is the one that you should really congratulate them. Yes, you can say something like, congratulations. You're now looking at the first steps that will give you incremental revenue or will give you a huge business boost. Yes. I also find that a lot of salespeople have that as an aha moment, yung saying congratulations talaga. Think of the customer, diba? And make the customer feel good, great, because it's not about you pushing our products or pushing our services or selling our cables or selling our load capabilities, no? But it's them imagining it's a big boost for my business, benefit to my career as an executive in this company. And congratulate the person for attending the meeting. Don't congratulate the person for being present. Congratulate the person because he is what? Building the foundations of or starting the sowing the seeds for greater revenue, or we are now working on growth opportunities for your business. So always take it in the point of benefit for the persons, whether telco yan or partner yan, yes, or somebody who's abroad who wants to offer our load products and services.
Yep.
Those are the lasting messages that people remember. What are those lasting messages? You have to prepare your talking points. Is it necessary to memorize your presentation? No. Do not memorize your presentation. But please remember and internalize key phrases. Unang-unang dapat mo ma-internalize yung flow. Greetings muna, introductions, tapos recap of previous information, and then I'll present the company if it's a new client or partner, and then I will go to the product, my proposal, what am I proposing, what are the rates, no? What are the terms and conditions, what are the requirements, and then how do I ask for questions, how do you recap. Kailangan ma-internalize mo yung flow. My word is internalize, not memorize. And you know what the danger is? If you memorize, you forget a word, makakalimutan mo na lahat, you will panic. The best thing about virtual presentations, my dear friends, is that I don't need to memorize. You know why? Because my slides are also open in front of me in another application. So while you're seeing this slide on question 7, I can see my slides, I can see the next slides, I can have an overview of the next thing that I will discuss. Sa client, pag face-to-face, mahirap gawin yun, not unless naka-presenter mode. Bukas nga yung mga code ko dito eh. So I have another iPad, I have the list of participants here, I have your names here and the groups that you belong to. I can see the Viber messages of my team. Bukas yung survey results nyo, bukas yung workbook ko dito, which is good because I can't do this if I'm really doing face-to-face. Okay, kaya pag nakikita yung mata ko nawawala sa camera, nagbabasa ako ng slide or I'm reading your survey answers in another. Keeping it concise. How long does an ideal presentation? Nasagot na natin yan. An ideal client presentation, no more than 10 slides. Could be 3, 4, 5, 6. Basta wag sobra ng 10. No more than 20 minutes. And how do you keep time when doing a presentation? Here are others. For example, I'm doing a virtual presentation. It's very easy. The clock is in front of me. Or if we follow Kawasaki, 10 slides to be delivered in 20 minutes, that means an average of 2 minutes per slide. So kung 10 slides, halimbawa 10 slides para mas madali ang math, nakaka 15 minutes ka na, 5 slides ka pa lang. That means you're averaging 3 minutes per slide. Not good because you will rush at the end. So make sure that on the average, 2 minutes lang per slide. I'm sure that you will have to spend more time in some, or you may want to, pag opening, ganito lang kabilis. When I go to the company presentation, I'll spend 3 minutes. So you can write that on a piece of paper, or you can put that on a gadget that's in front of you. I like virtual presentations because I can have access to all the information that you don't see. And because you see that I'm just looking at the camera and just rolling, ang feeling nyo, ang galing-galing-galing. Yung pala, pag-glance-glance din ako at other pieces of information. Which do you now prefer, Louis, face-to-face or virtual? Is virtual presentation more effective, or do you think audience learns more in face-to-face or in this virtual seminar? Please, I will rephrase what I'm saying. The best way for me to communicate and interact is really face-to-face, in person. Nothing beats that. Nothing beats that you're really just 1 or 2 feet away from each other. You can even hear the para-language, pati yung buntong hininga, dinig mo, di ba? And you can respond to that. Okay? It's really best. So when this is all gone, with the vaccine and the cures developed, we'll go to that old normal. But right now, this is the best that we have. So we'll have to make do with what we have. The good thing is that I have already increased my skill set. So I don't worry anymore because I know that the class engagement is in my hand. And I'm sure you will agree that this is a second best alternative. We can make this work. It will not rival. Nako, kung dito palang engaged na tayo, what more kung nasa class tayo lahat. De tawa tayo ng tawa. Tama? Tapos yung interaction natin, hindi kailangan magsabing chat with Louie. It's very spontaneous. But without that, I'm not losing sleep on that. I will make this work. At bukod dyan, sabi ni A.M. Valerio, may pasnacks pa yung F2F meeting. So, addressing the question of love here, nothing beats face-to-face. Ang dali ng face-to-face. Medyo may additional skill set nga sa akin to encourage you to chat with. But you know, the way I perform here is very similar to the way I perform in face-to-face. I even add or exaggerate here because I know that you may not be looking at the video and just listening to my voice. Naaamoy ang perfume. Grabe, may mga ganyan pa talaga. Hi, this is Louis Banta, CEO and Chief Consultant of LJMB. Thank you for watching my webinar, and to watch more videos like this, click subscribe and hit the bell icon down below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and share it to others.